Hello everyone, I am Madhusmita Fukan and I welcome you back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to answer a few questions that you all have asked in my previous videos. So let's get started. So our first question is asked by Bharti Hazarika. She is asking, ma'am, please make a video on how to crack APSC for government employee. I am a graduate teacher in a high school. Please make a study timetable for government employee. So Bharti, since you are working in a school, you are a teacher, I assume your work hours are somewhere between 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. When you have to go to school at 9 a.m., I would ask you to try to wake up at 3 a.m. When you wake up at 3 a.m., you can study up to 7:30 a.m. That is about 4.5 hours of study even before you leave to school. So what you can do in that 4.5 hours is, suppose you can study 1 hour of current affairs, you can use another 1 or 2 hours in revision, and again you will be having another 1 hour to study something new. That's how you can arrange your morning routine. Coming to the afternoon part, when you come back from school at 3:30, you can take a short nap of about half an hour to 45 minutes. You can wake up, you can get fresh, and you can resume your studies from 5 p.m. From 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. you again have 3 more hours to study, and in this way you can study for about 7 to 8 hours per day, and that is more than enough. If you study for 7 to 8 hours for about 1 year, that is sufficient for you to clear this exam. So Bharti, all the best. There's another question, I'm not sure about the user's name. Do you by heart the answers for mains, or you composed the answers in your own words? What was your average time on writing mains answers per question for 150 and 250 words? And are you able to maintain timing and word limits? This person has asked 3 questions at one go, so I would answer one by one. The first part is about, did I by heart my answers, or did I write it in my own words? So the answer is, I did not by heart any answers. As a matter of fact, I did not even practice writing a single answer, and the reason is I was overwhelmed by the syllabus. It was my first attempt in APSC, and also coming from a non-humanities background, I had a lot of things to learn. Everything was completely new for me. I did not know almost everything. I had to learn everything from scratch. So, and I had put a pressure on myself that I have to clear this exam at my very first attempt. So that is why, with my limited knowledge during that time, and since I did not have a mentor also, I did not emphasize on writing answers, and I kept on studying, and there were so many topics to learn already, and the remaining time I used to revise. But this is not the ideal scenario. I would warn you against it. I would caution you against it. Please do not try this. This is very risky. I somehow cleared it in my first attempt by God's grace. Somehow, even I don't know how I cleared it, but this, looking back from the position I am right now, it looks very risky, and I would not suggest anyone to do that. So that means I wrote all the answers in my own words. I did not memorize anything. I did not prepare any answer. The second part of the question asks, what was your average time on writing mains answers per question for 150 and 250 words? So you have to answer a total of 250 marks in 3 hours, which is 180 minutes. So if you do your calculations, you will realize that for 10 marks questions, you will have 7 minutes to write an answer, and for 15 marks questions, which is of 250 words, you will have 10 minutes to answer. So yeah, you can practice likewise. And were you able to maintain the timing and the word limits? In my case, I was of course not able to maintain the time and word limits since I did not do any practice, but you have to do. The exam is getting tougher every year and you have to do enough answer writing practice so that you can complete your paper in time and also while sticking to your word limit. Another person has asked, ma'am, please make a video on how to crack APSC-like exam with a government job. Currently, I'm working as a 4th grade at a high school. So, Bhava Bora, I have already answered your question. Similar question was asked by Bharati, and so it is already answered. Another thing I forgot to mention is that yes, you can prepare your answers and you can learn some of the answers by heart. Some questions, some topics are repeated almost every year. There are some very important topics that if you observe, if you go and study the mains question papers, you will realize that there are some topics which are asked every other year, some very static important topics like parliament, constitutional bodies, fundamental rights, DPSP, poverty, hunger, budget, terrorism, internal security, art and architecture, and some events of modern history, and many more important topics like that. And therefore you can prepare some standard questions and answers from these very important topics, so that will help you in answering those questions easily. Even if the question asked around a topic is different, still you will have a base knowledge about that topic and you will feel confident in writing that topic. And now you might be wondering, how are you supposed to know what the important topics are? So you will understand the important topics by analyzing the previous year question papers. When you thoroughly analyze the previous year question papers and you go through the syllabus in detail, you will understand those important topics or areas that you must thoroughly cover. So there was another question asked in my very first video. It was about how to restart again. I am trying to study, but I cannot overcome the fear of failing. I had already written a reply there, which I would like to read it out now. Do you want to remain a prisoner of the past or architect of the future? You are as powerful as you decide to be. So arise and shine for yourself. So you cannot dwell in your failure for too long. Yes, you feel hurt, you can cry, but you are not allowed to keep crying for a long time and dwell in that negative space of failure and sorrow forever. You have to come out of that, and only you can bring yourself out of that. Nobody else can do it for you. It is your sole responsibility to bring yourself out of a negative situation like that and move forward, push forward towards your future and make your future bright, because your destiny is in your hands. You are the creator of your life, you are the creator of your destiny, and your past does not determine your future. You can have an entirely new future which is not at all determined by your past. Doesn't matter how your past was like, you can still have a very, very bright future, and you yourself can create that. So friends, that was all for today. Thank you very much for watching.